Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 1276.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about your Millionaire Action Plan. Because I know at this time of the year, people are thinking about next year. They're thinking about how can I do things better next year? How can I really make my portfolio grow and make a difference toward my financial freedom goals? Well, that's what I want to talk about today. Because as you know, I created the wealth building formula, and that is money, compounding, and time, McT, MCT. Money means how much money you have to invest. Compounding is what rate you can compound your money at, or what rates of return you get from investing. And T is time, or the number of years you have to invest. Usually that's the time between now and retirement. So the thing is, when you look at money, compounding, and time, two of those are rather set in their ways. One is the amount of money that you have to invest. You often have a certain amount of money, whether that's in your 401k plan or in your savings. You have X amount of dollars to invest. And you're still earning, you're still working, so that's increasing every year, and you might be doing a really great job saving, but you still have a certain dollar amount to invest. Then, when you look at time, usually we have so many years based on our age until retirement. The younger you are, the longer you have to invest and compound until retirement. The older you are, well, maybe you feel like you're getting a late start, or you wish you were further ahead in your retirement savings. And so the shorter the amount of time you have, the more that you need to do something else to make up for that little time that you have left before retirement. And where the makeup usually needs to happen is in the C, or compounding. Because if you have X amount of dollars to invest and X amount of time to invest it, then it's really important that the compounding happen really well. And that's why one of my favorite investments and one of the most basic investments is the stock market. Because year in and year out, stocks have averaged about a 10% average annual return. Between 8 and 12, sometimes better, sometimes worse. But over the long haul, it averages about 10%. Now, there are certain ways that you can boost your compounding rate of return without taking a whole lot more risk. One of the ways you can do that is to add different asset classes that are non-correlated. Now, what does all that mean? It means that there's other investments that don't go up and down when stocks go up and down. So they're non-correlated, meaning they don't move in the same direction as stocks at the same time that stocks do. One example of that is digital assets. So certain digital assets that are future market leaders that we invest in don't go up and down with the stock market. They move independently of the stock market. And because everything's not moving together, that's non-correlated. And the fact that it's not stocks means it's a different asset class, or it's a different type of asset than stocks. The other thing that we've diversified into is called private equity. Private equity are private businesses, companies that have not gone public on the stock exchange yet. Businesses start and grow, and if they get big enough and have enough success and profitability and meet all the requirements of the stock market, then they can get listed on the stock exchange and raise more capital. That gives their founding shareholders liquidity, where they can cash in and get big bucks for the shares that they initially invested in at a very low price. It also means that we as public investors can buy their stock on the stock market. Prior to that, we may not have been able to buy any interest in that private business. But now, because of innovation and because of changes, private equity has somewhat become available to everyone. And that means that, unlike before, when people had to have $1 million of assets aside from their primary residence, that's not true today. And there are some private equity investments that everyday investors can invest in. And the advantage of that is you're able to buy these businesses at a lower valuation or earlier in their life cycle before they grow up to be a lot bigger and get listed on the stock market, which means you may have additional returns. Now, what's interesting is that when you look at the Forbes 400 list, the top richest people on that list are people that invest in private equity or private businesses. They're venture capitalists, and they invest money early in businesses. And for taking that risk and investing in businesses early, they can make a lot of money. Now, that's not something everyone can do, but you can wait until a business gets to a certain size, like $1 billion in market capitalization, so their shares times their stock price equal $1 billion. That's called a unicorn company. And once a company reaches $1 billion in size, it means that they've proven that they can be successful. And they may be more likely to go public and sell their shares in an initial public offering on the stock market. You've heard of IPOs. So now we have the opportunity to be able to invest in some of those companies before they go public. And that also can enhance our returns. And it doesn't take a large part of your portfolio to invest in either digital assets or private equity to enhance your return. It can be as little as 1% or 5% of your portfolio in digital assets, or 5 to 10% of your portfolio in private equity to make an enormous difference in your overall portfolio's value. And many people have their accounts with financial advisors and come to work in the VIP experience to get access to digital asset information and research and recommendations, as well as private equity and assistance investing in private equity companies. And as I wrote about in my book, 3 Steps to Quantum Wealth, even starting with a few $100s in cryptocurrencies can make a life-changing difference, because cryptocurrencies are so early in their phase and they're growing so much faster than any other asset class on the planet. Cryptocurrencies are the fastest growing asset class and have broken the record for that. And the compounding rates of return, in some cases, are much higher than what we've seen in the stock market. So having just a small amount of your money invested in something like a digital asset can make a large difference. Now, I can't promise that it will, but looking at past history, it's been very successful. And as we're going into another bull market for cryptocurrencies for the next couple of years, I think the opportunities are especially great right now to invest in some digital assets. My favorite digital asset has agreements with over 300 banking institutions around the world on most continents, and is a leader in being able to exchange one asset for another very quickly at low cost and doing thousands of transactions per second. And as we move into digitizing currency and commerce, this is the next big revolution. Back in the 90s, we had the internet revolution, and that was when we digitized communications. We didn't have email prior to the 1990s, but once the internet came into being, we didn't have just postal mail anymore. We had email available through the internet, and that changed a lot of things and sprouted a lot of new businesses that we couldn't even imagine back then. Who would have thought you'd be able to use an app on your phone and get a taxi service to show up at your door? Just like back then, many new innovations happened, we're going to see that on steroids, because when you're digitizing money, currency, and commerce, it doesn't get any bigger than that. That's much bigger than communications. So we're going to see new ways of banking, new ways of transferring funds, new ways of payment. For example, the reason why people get paid every 2 weeks is because it took about 2 weeks to determine the payroll. The technology was that slow. But with digital assets, it's almost immediate. So you could get paid literally every minute that you work. This is just one example of how things could change in the future. There's all kinds of new uses, new technology, new strategies that are going to be coming into our existence in the next few years. And this is the perfect time to get a jump on it and get in while prices are still extremely low. In many cases, digital assets are still selling at a few cents or even below a cent. And why that's important is because you can take just a small amount of money and substantially diversify your assets just with that small amount, and potentially raise your overall compounding rate of your portfolio. Now, you know the difference between a low compounding rate and an average compounding rate can make a huge amount of difference to you. For example, if you had $100,000 to invest, let's say in your retirement plan, and you earned just 2% on that per year, over 30 years, that would grow to $181,136. But if you didn't invest any more money, but you invested better and were able to earn 10% on your money, which is not unheard of, over 30 years, your $100,000 wouldn't grow to $181,000. It would grow to $1.744 million. That's a difference of over $1.5 million in your favor just because you invested better. And I think having some diversification of your assets, a small amount in digital assets and private equity, can help you make that additional return and get you those better results. Remember, it was the same amount of money invested and the same amount of time. It was the rate of compounding that made the huge difference. And to improve on your compounding, sometimes you need to add additional assets in your portfolio to get to those high compounding rates. And one of the ways that I show people how to do that is in the Be Wealthy and Smart VIP experience. Now, I don't often talk about this on the show, but it is my private investing group. And I think it's an incredible value because you join one time and you have lifetime access. That's right, you pay once and you're in for a lifetime. You get to invest alongside with me and have all of my input, commentary, investment portfolio recommendations, etc. for years to come. In the VIP experience, I have a monthly webinar where live with me, I'm giving you an update on all of our investments in our portfolios and what's going on with the markets. I cover stocks, private equity, digital assets, real estate, bonds, precious metals, and the general economy. At the end of that call, I stay on until all of your questions are answered. You also receive my asset allocation models for growth, where you learn which stock ETFs I like for growth, and we use low-cost Vanguard ETFs for our stock portfolio, which digital assets are my favorites, and which private equity companies I feel have the most potential for the highest returns. We also have a wealth vault. We have education about wealth building with audios and videos and checklists and resources. And then weekly, I send you my investment commentary and select financial articles that help you save time because I just condense everything and show you only what's important for you to know and for your wealth building. We have a private VIP Facebook group if you want to stay up to the minute on everything that's going on. And of course, all the webinars are recorded in case you can't make them live. And like I said, there's lifetime access with no additional payments. And right now, I want to offer you a special price because the price is increasing next year. So jumping in now is going to save you several $100s from the increase that's happening next year, plus it's going to save you 50% on the regular price. So even though all of that investment value for our portfolios, for our wealth vault, for monthly webinars, for lifetime access, for private equity, for digital assets, all of that is valued at over $24,000. And our regular price is $3,998. But for a limited time, you can use promo code SAVE50, capital S, capital A, capital V, capital E, 50, SAVE50 in the promo code box and save $1,999. So all of that, you have lifetime access for one time, a payment of $1,999. There is a link in the show notes where you can come in to buy. You have a 30-day free look money-back guarantee. If you aren't satisfied for any reason, you'll get 100% of your money back promptly. Oh, and I almost forgot. You also get some bonuses when you come in to the VIP experience. You get my first book, You're Already a Wealth Heiress, that has your Millionaire Action Plan in that book. You get my favorite financial books and resources. That's a list of books that I recommend. You get my wealth mini course and journal, which start with the 6 steps to wealth, and you can go from there. And you get a detailed crypto tutorial, which describes exactly which 8 digital assets to invest in, where, how, and why. And if you need support, we have a tech team for hire that can help you do that as well. We also have an easy payment plan of 6 easy payments of $397 when you use promo code SAVE50. We have clients from all over the world, from Canada, UK, Europe, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, and of course, all over the US. It doesn't matter how much money you have to invest. You don't have to have a whole lot. All you need is the desire to learn about investing or to expand your investment horizon. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is said to be the definition of insanity. So if what you've been doing isn't working, now is the time to make a change. And this is the opportunity where you're going to save thousands of dollars if you join now. this is how and where you can get a quantum leap and a new plan. So go to your show notes, click on the link, and come in to the Be Wealthy and Smart VIP experience. I'll see you there. If you haven't yet subscribed to Be Wealthy and Smart, hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified as soon as new podcasts are available so you never miss one of them. And all of my podcasts are on my website at lindapjones.com/podcasts. And while you're there, sign up for my weekly newsletter for more wealth tips. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.